Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The WBC champion Deontay Wilder has doubled back to have another go at Tyson Fury. They've had a bit of a spat on social media following the Wilder-Fury rematch being cancelled, not happening next after Tyson Fury signed up to ESPN, and he is going to have at least an interim fight before he faces Wilder again. If in fact he ever faces Wilder again, they're looking at a potential rematch later in the year, but who knows what will happen. But their spat on social media, it ended with Tyson Fury having the last word, but Wilder, not wanting to give him that, has come back and had a few choice words of his own. And also in this video, Deontay Wilder's had a crack at Andre Ward. Bit of cold beef there from a number of weeks ago when Ward suggested Wilder wouldn't want the rematch with Fury. So he seems to be serving up some revenge, which is a dish often best served cold, and this is what he's doing here. I'll also cover off a number of other statements that are being made by Bob Arum, Frank Warren, and also by Wilder's co-manager Shelley Finkel. I didn't want to do like 65,000 videos on all these little bits and pieces, so I'm just wrapping it up in one video. So buckle in. Let's go. So let's start with Deontay Wilder having another crack at Tyson Fury. Their Twitter spat sort of ended with Tyson Fury saying, "Get yourself a bit more well-known in America first, kid, and then I'll give you another chance. I already beat you and the world knows it. And you must be hard for you that a British fighter has taken over the USA. Watch me whip." And that was in the immediate aftermath of this whole rematch falling over. So a day later, Deontay Wilder has come back. What an idiot. What an idiot. Known as the fact your only highlight was you getting up off your back, and since you known to snort shit, this is what happens when your body is on drugs. Your body resembles the effect of it. I'm the champ. Hashtag till this day.
To this day! To this day!
You're nothing in the USA if I don't bless you full. So Deontay Wilder clearly not happy with what some of Tyson Fury has been saying, and especially the reference to that he's taking over the USA and that he beat him and the world knows it, and it must be hard for Deontay Wilder to accept that fact as Tyson Fury believes it. So Deontay Wilder clapping back with a few words of his own, hashtag
to this day.
And he's also been on social media having a pot shot at Andre Ward. Several weeks ago, Ward suggested that maybe Deontay Wilder wouldn't want that work with Tyson Fury again, simply because Fury outboxed him, made him look a little bit silly at times. Even despite of the knockdowns, he thought that Fury had won that fight. So Deontay Wilder, not wanting to let Andre Ward get away with that, has come back after this rematch has fallen over, saying, "Welp, at Andre Ward, I guess this is what not wanting smoke looks like. Your guy personally," and that's all capped, "asked for a tune-up before re-entering the ring with the hashtag king. Style-wise, mental and physically, I want all the smoke. Never judge my heart. You'll be surprised what it is capable of doing." And the fact Deontay Wilder has specifically written this tweet to Andre Ward, that's been weighing on his mind to some degree, and he had to get it off his chest. And that was a bit of a controversy back when it happened, and even since then, it's been sort of bubbled away a little bit. Ward sort of addressing the situation to media, specifically to one YouTuber in particular, who he was saying was effectively taking him out of context to some extent, benefiting from this and trying to, cause a situation where he was really just giving a view and it was taken sort of all out of context and blown out of all proportion. So that situation is what it is, but Deontay Wilder clearly wanting to serve up a little bit of a revenge on social media here. And then that's sort of contrasted by, at the same time he's doing this tweet to Fury, doing the tweet to Ward, you've got the scene here that he posts to social media of him looking out over a lake at his house in Alabama. And yeah, the kind of the different things with him sort of exploding at these other guys doesn't really kind of match what's here. Anyway, we'll get on to the next thing. Team Wilder, we're still going to fight May 18. So this is an article from Boxing Scene, and if we go down here to Shelley Finkel, Deontay will be okay. He's obviously disappointed, but otherwise, he's fine. We had our hopes up and figured Tuesday was the declare whether to go to a purse bid. If Fury still wanted the fight, we were prepared to make an offer. And then it's got in bracket new. If not, there's no reason to send anything. Now we will have to look to finalise plans for his May 18 return. And further down here, Shelley Finkel says, we're still fighting May 18, although of course, as of now, not versus Fury. We'll know the final opponent in the next few days. Okay, so they're expecting an announcement potentially coming soon, and I guess, once that comes, it's going to be March, and May 18 will be creeping up rather fast. If they secure something in the next week or so, that gives about 10 weeks until that date. So that would be about a normal length training camp, so they can't exactly sit on this for too long, because if they want to keep that date, May 18 is coming up fast. And the potential opponents, well, we'll talk a little bit about that, because I've got a poll I want to refer to. But Dominic Breazeale also quoted here, he's seemingly like a kid in a candy store now, thinking that all his Christmases are going to come with Tyson Fury pulling out. Quoted, "I'm excited. That was the biggest thing that happened in the last 15 months. A situation like that, where Fury kind of pulls out of a situation with the rematch, is the best thing for the WBC mandatory." And maybe it will be. Dominic Breazeale could be in pole position here. He was the guy that was mandated by the WBC to face Deontay Wilder. They hadn't called that, though. He is the guy that would get the next direct shot at Deontay Wilder. And maybe it could happen now that this Tyson Fury rematch has fallen over. Now that it's off the table, it had been ordered. Who knows? Dominic Breazeale could be in there. But I did a poll on this actually on my Twitter, just to get a bit of a flavour of what people were thinking. And bear in mind, it's still a relatively small poll result, so 249 votes here. I asked the question, who do you want to see Deontay Wilder face next? And I would have had a fifth option in here, Wilder Stavern 3 as a joke, but you can't have 5 options in there, just the 4. So what I did have was Luis Ortiz, Dominic Breazeale, Adam Kovnatsky, and Dillian Whyte. And in this poll, Dillian Whyte was the pretty clear winner. Almost 4 out of every 5 votes cast for him. So Luis Ortiz, 6%, Dominic Breazeale, 9%, and Adam Kovnatsky, 6%. But, it is a small sample, but also I don't know what the demographic of my Twitter base is. It could be a lot of UK-based boxing fans. It is a very big boxing community, a lot of people from the UK that watch this channel that I'm sure also are followers on Twitter too. So who knows? I'm not exactly sure what the breakdown is, but I would have thought some of these other ones would be slightly higher. But Dillian Whyte, that is a good fight for Deontay Wilder. I wouldn't mind seeing any of these fights, actually. My personal preference, actually, it probably would be Dillian Whyte, or maybe Adam Kovnatsky. But I do actually think that Dominic Breazeale deserves a shot. They need to tidy this up and get it out of the way. The sanctioning bodies often, change their rules and have loopholes galore to get out of things at the drop of a hat. And this guy's been sitting and waiting. So I don't mind if that fight happens, but I don't mind any of these fights. I think they will be good fights that I'd want to see. It's not necessarily, the Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury fights that I did want to see above all of these, but any of these guys are decent contenders, and they will put I don't want to say it's a short notice sort of thing now because it's over 2 months out, but I think Dominic Breazeale, he could probably count himself the favorite, not necessarily among fans to get it, but I would say that he, given he's the mandatory challenger, he is in a good position. Okay, we'll go to Frank Warren. So this is some of the fallout from it and some of his comments. So he says of this rematch falling over, ESPN are insisting that he has a fight over there before he fights Wilder. So this is him talking to BBC Radio 5 Live. It'll give him bigger exposure and thus making pay-per-view a bigger attraction when they do the pay-per-view. Tyson wants the fight with Wilder. I certainly wanted it. A little bit disappointed in some ways, but that's the decision they've made. So Frank Warren there. I guess, in response to that, because he's kind of washing his hands and saying, well, ESPN, they're not going to let Tyson Fury fight Deontay Wilder next. They want to build this fight. And Bob Arum made that very clear from the day that the deal was announced. But the other side of the argument is you didn't need to make that deal right now. These guys, Tyson Fury and Frank Warren, they can't just absolve themselves and sort of wash their hands of it and, look, it wasn't our fault, we wanted the fight, but they're not going to let us. It's sort of not going to cut it because they put themselves in this position. I mean, I don't begrudge Tyson Fury signing a massive deal because good on him. That is a good move for his career in a financial sense. In boxing, you've only got a finite period to make some bank and, set yourself and your family up for life. So he's done what's best for him in a personal sense. In respect of, boxing legacy and a boxing career, it remains to be seen because we don't know what's happening next or down the line. But just to sort of say, well, we still wanted that fight next, but it's a shame. I do think that's a little bit of a cop-out there by Frank Warren. Okay, next bit. Bob Arum. What is he saying? Wilder-Fury rematch, still goal for the fall. And some of this, though, they're talking like this, that there's going to be an interim fight and then the rematch. There's no guarantees that Deontay Wilder is going to sign on to anything associated with Bob Arum. And in that sense, I mean, they're kind of trying to set that up and saying, well, the rematch is still there. Tyson Fury's been saying, don't let politics get in the way, while adding more politics into the equation. Some of it is a bit counterintuitive and, it's a bit ironic, some of the statements that have been said. But Bob Arum is saying why we made that determination was when we analysed it, boxing people knew Tyson Fury, particularly after the great fight with Wilder. But the truth is, the public don't really know who he was. They didn't really know his backstory. We think Tyson Fury is a larger-than-life character. We expect that ESPN, leading up to his fight in May or June, they've assured us will have him on and let him do his thing, and everyone will know Tyson Fury for better or worse. They will know about his depression after he won the title in a big upset from Vladimir Klitschko in 2015, about his drug abuse and his issues and how he overcame them. He is prepared to tell everything, and people will really get to know this guy who is very articulate and entertaining, and then it will be time to do the Wilder fight. But if people got to know Fury, and hopefully in some ways people get to know Wilder, this thing should do over 1.5 to 2 million buys on ESPN pay-per-view. We'd make it a major event, not just to do it because it's there, because fight fans want to see it. Yeah, and that's it. Fight fans did want to see it, and now it's being strung out to try and make some more money. So don't give me the fight fans line, because fight fans were already wanting it. But this whole thing up here with Arum sort of saying Tyson Fury going to wheel out the violin and his backstory, we literally just had months of that in 2018. If you're a boxing fan and you follow the build-up to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, Showtime and others, they were really, pouring that on strong right throughout the build-up. And it is a great story, but it's, for me at least, I'm kind of, I'd rather not hear that brought out and wheeled out every time. It's like sometimes when Danny Jacobs fights are promoted, they will just do, stuff about how he had cancer, and it's like some of that stuff loses impact. But I guess, potentially from what he's saying, I'm not the target here. Neither are you. The fight fan is not really the target, even though that's the fight that most of us wanted next. It's going to be drawn out, and they're going to try pull in effectively people who are not fight fans and try to sell Tyson Fury and his backstory to them. So expect to, something very similar to what happened back in 2018 with all the sort of the talk about Tyson Fury overcoming his demons. I just kind of think he's back now. Do we really need to keep flogging that same dead horse? But I guess if they think they can do it and, get more people interested and make money, they'll keep flogging that dead horse. Anyway, I'll leave it there. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.